Beliefs are actually decisions. See, it's hard to get our hands around beliefs. We don't know how to change our beliefs, but we do know how to change our decisions. We know how to make decisions every day. So if we start looking at our beliefs as actually decisions, then we can begin to get our power back as human beings.
You are now listening to the highlight reel builder for authors, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, best-selling author, and Maxwell Leadership Certified Trainer, DomBrightmon. And you're going to be getting some tips and techniques to advance yourself coming up next. Today's episode is sponsored by both books, Going North, Tips and Techniques to Advance Yourself, and the follow-up bestseller, Stay the Course, The Elite Performer's 7 Secret Keys to Sustainable Success. Head over to Amazon.com, pick up both books. They are available in a trifecta of paperback, audio, and ebook. Cop all three of both and be on the lookout for another book from yours truly to help podcasters succeed. Now let's get on with today's episode. Alrighty, and today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as the Going North podcast, GMP, the great, glorious, and glamorous, we got another super special, awesome human for you today, courtesy of my good buddy from the wonderful SoCal herself, Miss Kim O'Neill. That's right, indeed. The lovely voice you probably hear on half the intros of this show because she hooked me up with one heck of a guest today. That's right, indeed, because today's guest, you're in for a treat that's good enough to eat 3 times over because my man is a leader in transformational learning. He is a speaker, a #1 Amazon best-selling author, as well as a mentor, trainer, as well as a catalyst for growth and inner peace. So let's give it up for the man affectionately known as Dr. Z himself, the one and only Dr. Zayd Abdul-Karim. How you doing today, Dr. Z?
Yay. Thank you, Dom. I am good and grateful, brother. Gotta have both. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I ain't changing it for nobody. Thank you, Dom, for this opportunity to be with you going north, sir. Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure indeed. I'm honored to have you too. That's right indeed, because my man's got a whole bunch of wisdom, man. My man's, and I'm actually really honored because a man actually is originally from the DMV before the official recording started. So my goodness, as you know, with all introductions are not allowed to be 500 days long, and I probably only covered maybe 0.5 of what covers the whole entirety of Dr. Z. So for those who are living under, I don't know, 18 rocks, mind filling in, folks, on who is Dr. Z, such as your first time here on the podcast?
Well, it's a guy, man. A guy grew up in the inner city, experienced a lot of dysfunctional love in the family and, developed this poor attitude and poor performance, and a lot of self-judgment got into me, low confidence and self-esteem. And so I wasn't always Dr. Z. But I tell you, what happened that really transformed my life and put me on this track of transformation and helping people transform is I went to Penn State University, man, and I almost flunked out. And I was soul searching. I was in the pain of failure. Anybody ever experienced the pain of failure out there? Yeah. So in my soul searching, Dom, I asked the question, what's the purpose of my life? Why am I here? I mean, it's got to be more than basketball parties and girls when I was 20 years old. And, the interesting thing, when you ask a different question, you get a different answer, right? In fact, I learned that the quality of your life is going to be determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. So the answer came that I'm here to serve the creator who created me, and the way to do that is to serve people. And so we've been on this path for years. And we're grateful to be at this point where we can help people experience transformation and live more powerfully. Yeah. I live in California now. I moved to right outside of San Francisco. We've been here. We moved actually the day before they closed the airports at the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
We were
Oh,
we were
wow.
on that flight on the March the 17th, 2020. So we're fully acclimated to California now, outside of San Francisco, and loving this life that we have.
Oh, wow, that is huge. So my goodness, what led you to Cali, especially right before the pandemic started? My goodness, that's a heck of a time to arrive.
Well, I only know how to be me, Dom. So, God put you where He wants you to be. And my wife had retired, and she said, "We moving to California." And initially, I said, "We are." Right? But after some months, yeah, we are. And the reason we moved, the reason we moved was to support our grandchildren. My son and his wife, we have 2 grandchildren. And so that's a very strong pull. And it was time for us to leave. And, God has a wisdom about everything that He does. And I couldn't see it when it was time to move. Oh, even when we got here, but I see it now because we're able to serve more people. We're able to make a greater contribution. It forced me to grow myself, to prepare, going into the unknown. That's what it's about. And this is a big part of transformation because we get too comfortable in the known, and we want to that keeps us stuck. Right? And I jumped into the unknown. I only knew 2 people out here, the pandemic, and no clients and no friends really. And you couldn't get out, but we got certified. We've been coaching and things are really going great. And allow ourselves to embrace the unknown. And we'll be surprised at how things will turn out.
Oh, beautiful indeed, beautiful indeed. Embracing the unknown indeed. So my goodness, I'm pretty sure you, well then again, maybe had to have to deal with that by default, growing up in the inner city and then having your own transformation. So what led you to becoming a transformation coach? Because I'm pretty sure that trajectory just wasn't in your original, I guess, sphere of influence at the time before it happened.
Well, you just don't know. I mean, I've been in business for 21 years. And I was doing professional development training at, the DMV, the Booz Allen Hamilton major corporation. I also taught graduate school, actually at Johns Hopkins University there in Baltimore. They had a DC campus. I taught there for 10 years as a part-time adjunct professor. So I've always been involved in this teaching, and then my business when I started was in leadership development, training, and doing some coaching. In fact, one of my colleagues, I even know I was coaching back then. I was just trying to help her. And she said, you're a coach. I said, I am? Okay, well, I'm a coach. And been doing it, but realized coming out here to a new place, I really needed to have some credentials behind me beside my doctorate degree. It was like, yeah, well, you're not going to have a hard problem finding a job because you got a doctorate degree. No, that's not how it worked, right? Because the industry is different, the culture is different, people are different out here in California. And they didn't care nothing about me having a doctorate degree. In fact, they wouldn't even hire me, Dom. I couldn't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
But God said, that's not what I want you to do. Prepare yourself so you can go out here and help save some lives because people are suffering, man, and especially through the pandemic and even now. We see people are suffering because of their fears. And so I made significant investments in myself so that I can help people invest and grow themselves and come to the point, I'll call it my spiritual vision, is to end suffering by healing fear-based living and turning that into unconditional love for oneself, others, while at the same time maximizing human potential and power. And that's the vision. And, we help business leaders who are looking, they're ready for more. Particularly women that want to come out of the shadows of sacrifice and overwhelm and frustration so they can they can have more freedom and build that purpose-filled life and business that they deserve with the unshakable clarity and courage to make their money impact and fulfillment goals come true. So you're a coach, our success is in what we help other people succeed in. And I've never said this before, but I was born for this mission, Dom. And I'm going to ride it out.
Wow, amen to that. That's right, indeed. Don't need Broncos country at all for the ride.
My bad, Dom. Yeah, I love this, man. Thank you. Great spirit.
Oh, amen to that. Appreciate it. So my goodness, so the thing about being a coach, I'm pretty sure your clients have probably made you a better coach as a result. So what would you consider the biggest lesson you learned from one of your coaching clients that made you a better coach?
It's a good question. I mean, when you're a teacher and you're a coach, you're always learning. I mean, I always say my students, my clients, they teach me how to teach them and how to coach them. I think the biggest thing for me is, obviously as a coach, you got to ask good questions. Going back to the power of questions. But the biggest thing is listening. Really being able, people have taught me how to listen to them, because by listening and being silent, I can find out where their pain is and where they're stuck in the known. And then, we have multiple techniques and tools to help them get out from that place of being stuck, which usually has some type of fear attached to it and some type of suffering that comes from the fear. And we help them move into a powerful state of living. I guess they've taught me that one of the biggest problems that we have as human beings is unintelligent thinking. See, so many people feel like they're not as far along as they think they should be in their lives, in their jobs or their relationships or their health or their bank accounts. So what do? They go read another book. Right? I have one lady, she has 5 bookshelves full of books. But you see, that's not the problem, and that's not the answer. Because reading another book, getting another degree, getting another certification is not necessarily the answer. Because after people do all of that, they still feel unfulfilled. And so the real problem is not lack of knowledge. Come on, man, we got the internet. Touch one button, you got more knowledge on one subject that you can assimilate in a lifetime. So the problem is people have not developed the unshakable, invincible mindset for personal growth. And that's really what the solution is. I'm sure you get this question oftentimes. People will say, they got a problem, they got a situation. They say, okay, well, what do I do? How do I fix this? And yes, what you do and your behaviors directly lead you to results. So if you're having anyone out there, if you're having results that you don't want, then you got, we suggest you look at your behaviors that's creating those results. But you can't just change your behaviors outright to get results. And that's what most people don't know. They don't understand that there is something that's driving the behaviors. In fact, your beliefs mainly your beliefs about yourself triggers the thoughts that you have that trigger how you feel. And it's the feeling and the energy that comes with the feelings that drives your behavior that leads you to results. So if you really want to get lasting results, I mean, only 8% of people actually keep their New Year's resolutions. That means 92% of the people don't, because they think they could just change the behavior to get results. No, you got to look at your beliefs, your thoughts, and your feelings. That's where the mindset is, right? And one of the things that's we're so grateful in our service to people is combining the best of personal transformational training with brain science and divine instruction. Because as human beings, we need guidance. I don't care what book you read, what holy book you read, or where you get your scriptural, spiritual nourishment from. We need guidance, man. And we need assistance. So people say, knowledge is power. You ever heard that? Knowledge is power? Of course you have, right? And many people believe that's true, but it's not totally true, because it only becomes power when you apply it. Applied knowledge is power. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have is we don't apply the knowledge. People don't apply the knowledge that they have. So what's blocking that? It's the mindset. Even God won't change your condition externally until you change what's within your soul, in your heart, in your mind. And that's the beliefs, the thoughts, and the feelings. So that's what we help people do. And we got a proprietary methodology. It works for anybody that's willing to work it and wants some breakthroughs. So good and grateful, Dom.
Good old G&G.
G&G.
You'll love to see it. Good and grateful indeed. And that's a powerful line right there that you mentioned, because, hey, it's like, yeah, God will change your out external if you work on the internal, especially your soul.
Right. Yes, it's an inside-out process, right? And those of us who are going to benefit the most are those who they grow their soul. You know, because spirit to heart to intellect, all of it's connected. But let me stop now, because I'll go off on another road and don't know where it'll lead us.
Well, it won't be into temptation, that's for sure.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Enough of that going on out there. Yeah. We're living in extraordinary times, you know, that really call for extraordinary personal development. You remember? It just came to me, right? And I'm sure you got this when you were a child. Your mother might say, "Well, if Johnny go jump off the bridge, you gonna go jump off the bridge too?"
Always hated that.
Right? Yeah, well, I did it because they did it. Well, what am I saying? I'm saying just because we see people out here doing things, right, doesn't mean that that's what's best for you and your soul. And the media is manufacturing fear. Fear is ruling people's lives. But you weren't created for that. It's not part of the natural way. It's not even part of truth and reality. And that's what we help to bring people back, because once you can start thinking intelligently instead of unintelligently, and start thinking with truth, universal laws, instead of falsehood, your life will change rapidly. And we're the ones to help you do that if that's something that you want to do. Otherwise, stay in the status quo. You wake up one day and wonder what happened. Anyway,
That's right. Wake up on a Sunday afternoon thinking you missed a school bus, right?
Hey, wrong day, wrong time, right? That's pretty good, Dom. Hey,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I saw that in me once. I was just in stitches. I'm like, wait, what? What kind of man? That must be really something they're going through if that happened.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man. So my goodness. So for those who may be interested and be like, hey, so man, working on the internal, doing some soul work. So my goodness. So what's worked for you that you've inspired others to do also when it comes to soul work indeed?
Well, there are a lot of answers to that. I think we've got to be rooted in some universal laws, some words that reflect universal laws, because everything is operating in the way that infinite intelligence has designed it. And not just being able to speak words, but again, coming back to the application. Because, they told us when we were kids, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. But that's not true. Words can hurt, or they can elevate. So part of it is, the main thing is becoming consciously aware of yourself, of your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors. And again, there are ways to become conscious. And be quite honest with you, most of us, me included, needed and still need someone to help me increase my conscious awareness, because we forget, because we got so much programming from the past that the brain has been conditioned by. And so when you start talking about changing your brain and changing your beliefs and thoughts, the brain's going to resist. So being consciously aware, and that there's a lot behind that. And we use techniques in addition to that kinds of stuff, like I found meditation out here in California. What am I trying to say? You want to have some daily routines, some daily rituals that you do in the mornings that will help you begin to first be consciously aware about yourself, how powerful you are, and give you some rituals. Like part of my rituals are, I have a gratitude ritual where I'm meditating on gratitude for a lot of different things. I know you're a spiritual guy, and congratulations on your Maxwell certification, right? But sometimes I think people don't pray the right way. They always asking for stuff, right? It's like, give me this and give me that, especially when things aren't going well. Then they really want to ask, right? But I believe that the first thing we need to do is to be thankful. Before we start asking, how about we be thankful and grateful for what we have? So I got a gratitude ritual in the mornings. Spend somewhere between 12 and 25 minutes in that space. I like guided meditations to help me just calm down, and deep breathing, uh, regardless of our physical, whatever, stature, gender, race, age, any of that stuff. All of us, our spirit and a body, and we're a breath. We're a breath from the Spirit of God. He breathed into us, right? That's how we get life. And when the breath is gone, the life is gone. So I found really powerful support in deep breathing and meditation to support your your spiritual guidance, and wisdom teachers that you study and listen to. Yeah. And then allow yourself, I think the biggest thing is to give yourself permission to make a new decision. Make a new decision in terms of beliefs, because one of the distinctions we found is that beliefs are actually decisions. See, it's hard to get our hands around beliefs. We don't know how to change our beliefs, but we do know how to change our decisions. We know how to make decisions every day. So if we start looking at our beliefs as actually decisions, then we can begin to get our power back as human beings. Like, for example, a person might think or believe that they're not good enough. They can't do it, they're not good enough, or they're unworthy. I had one of the students tell me that when she was a child, they told her that she was worthless. She was a shame on the family. And so for 40 years, she's been carrying that belief system, right? Not knowing how to change it. But that's false to believe that and think that. And it's unintelligent to believe that and think that. So if we look and say, okay, well, since that's false, and how do you know when your belief or thoughts are false? Because they don't feel good inside. We have a guidance, an emotional guidance system within us that tells us when we're on track with nature and the true reality and when we're not. And when we're not, we don't feel good. That's a signal. Oh, you're getting off the path. So if you can become aware of that and then look at your thinking, what am I thinking that's going along with this feeling? And understand that those thoughts are housed in some type of belief. And then if you decide, okay, I'm going to decide on a new belief. I want to make a decision about myself that's more empowering. Because the truth is that you are good enough. The truth is, my friends, that you are worthy and you are deserving. Not because you do this or do that, or you have this degree or this title or whatever. None of that is it. You're worthy because you're here. You're worthy because you have life. And you're worthy because you were created in the most excellent mold as a human being. But see, what's happened, Dom, is humanity has lost their humanity. Sure, there are a lot of people that are good and a lot of people are doing good things. But if you look at this world as a whole and what the media is constantly spewing out to us, and entertainment and other things, you don't see people treating each other as human beings. I saw on the news yesterday, a 6-year-old kid had shot up something. I was looking at the ticker tape, right? I don't know if you saw that news or not. I don't even know the whole story. But a 6-year-old pulled a gun out of his pocket at school and shot up some people. Or this other person shot up 152 people, or 152 rounds were shot at the school. Come on, man, what kind of world are we living in? What is the beliefs and thoughts that people are having that they're feeling so bad about themselves to do that? Now, I know that's extreme, right? But we can look at our own daily lives and check up on how we feel and see our unintelligent thinking. So I'm saying that beliefs are actually decisions. And when you allow yourself to make a new decision about you that's in line with truth, that is intelligent thinking, then there's an infinite intelligence out here in this world that's here to support you. Naturally, and it will. You just got to flip the switch of our beliefs and our thinking. Is this making any sense what I'm saying, Don?
Hey, it makes perfect sense, indeed, because, yeah, your beliefs are definitely decisions.
Yeah, so it's not that people believe that they're not good enough, if they decided that they're not good. It's not that they believe that there's no good men or women out there. They've decided that there's no good men or women out there. It's not that people believe that money's hard to make. It's that they've decided that money's hard to make. And so since they've decided that, then the way the brain works, it's going to give you whatever you put your attention on. That's what it's designed to do. So we're looking to help everybody that wants to be helped, because we've been given the keys, the master keys to more happiness, to more fulfillment, to more peace of mind. And anybody that's looking for that, which I believe all of us are, find a coach. I mean, yeah, I'm here, Dom's here, there are a whole bunch of coaches out here. Of course, I'm interested in working with my ideal folks, which are African-American women business leaders who are ready for more. Okay? But if I'm not your coach, Dom's not your coach, find somebody. Even Michael Jordan had a coach, right? Everybody that's excelled in anything in this world has had a coach or multiple coaches. So, got to invest in ourselves. You're worth it. You're worth it investing in yourself. And we believe in you.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. We believe in you indeed. That's right indeed. Believe in you indeed. That's right indeed. Got me thinking, it's like, oh yeah, believe. It's like, hey, first you have to be.
It is. Come on, Dom. Come on, give it up. I've been talking too much. Come on, give me some of that.
So I'm thinking, I'm like, man, my man's got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, that'd be leave. It's like, hey, first you have to be. It's like, hey, and you gotta leave. It's like, hey, first you're in that B state, and then it's, hey, gotta leave the old.
That's right.
Get
Leave
into
the
that
old
new.
and live the new. That's right. But that flies against our conditioning, because we were taught you got to do, then you have, and then you'll be. Go to school, do your work, have good grades, and then you'll be somebody one day. No, that's not the sequence.
It's true.
We got to be before we do. So it's really be, do, and have. What do young folks say? Don't talk about it, be about it. That's what's up. Yeah. And believe. It's so wonderful.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, my goodness, so since you've been on a few interviews before, is there a question that you wish folks would ask you more often when you're on the guest side of the game?
I don't know if there's a question. I mean, I love questions. I don't know if we have a platform to take any questions if people have them. But there's no just one question that I wish people would ask. I often get the question, well, how am I going to do so and so? We ought to answer that. You got to look at your mindset first. 80% of success comes from mindset. Is there a question that you'd like to ask, or that you think your audience would like to ask, or a question that you often get asked that we might be able to shine some light on?
Yeah, funny enough, it popped in my head too, especially with that wonderful quote. I forgot how it exactly went, but I believe if you're not getting the results in your life, you're asking the wrong questions. So, what was probably the most important question in your life that actually led you to realize, you know what? I think I'm finally going to get these results now that I ask myself this question.
I'm going to go back to this idea of purpose. I mean, it was decades and decades ago. But that question, that purpose question, because all of us are created with a purpose. It's just many of us don't know what their purpose is. But when you ask about it, the way the brain works, the way infinite intelligence works, when you ask about it, the answer will be shown to you. Now you gotta read the signs and respond to the signs. That's a skill in and of itself also.
It is.
But I think, the purpose, and even one of the things that would be supportive for your audience is everything that you're doing when you're going into a meeting. What's the purpose? What's your purpose when you go in there? And even bring it up, what's the purpose of this meeting? What's our intention? What is it that we want to accomplish? Because purpose sets the direction. And direction leads you to your destiny in any activity. And so ask, what's the purpose? What's my purpose? And then get quiet enough, silent enough, still enough for the answers to show up, because they will. And that put me on the path for, I'll say, my human excellence. You know, it put me on a path for more consciousness, because even though I was about to flunk out of college, just being clear about this purpose shifted my mindset. It changed my work ethic. You know, we're from the DMV, man. We know how to party. But I stopped going to those parties on Friday night because I stayed at the library until 12 o'clock because I had a goal. Got to have a goal. Purpose can help you, lead you to a goal. Change your work ethic. I closed down the library on Friday nights and I opened it up on Saturdays. And I did that for 18 months. Got on the honor roll, graduated. Now, that was a long time ago, but that's a formula that still works. Because I figured out the parties weren't going to help me. If I was working while other people were sleeping, I can beat you. I may not be the smartest guy on the team, but if I work while you sleep, I'm going to win, because I'm operating from purpose and intention that's deep down in the soul. And I think anybody that's accomplished anything in this life, from the, whoever you follow, the big shots to the unknown heroes in our communities, they're all operating off of purpose, off of intention. So what's your purpose? You know? If you don't, I've been toiling around in my head. I have a purpose exercise that I use as a module in my courses. I'd be willing to give it to anybody that is interested in finding out their purpose. Free. Make it a PDF, I'll send it to you. Just, giving and receiving, right? Maybe there's somebody out there to say, I feel purposeless. See, I was the poster boy for that back when I was being less than my excellent self, because I was troubled inside, And the beautiful thing is, it's like we all have things when we're coming up that are dysfunctional, that are painful, maybe even. But I believe that we go through those things so that we can learn how to serve the other side of that energy. For example, I grew up, there was a lot of judgment in the house in my parents' relationship, and that judgment got into me. And it disturbed me for a long time till I found my purpose. But I've also, again, through the work that we've been doing, we're talking about one of the books that that have come through me. The opposite energy of judgment is mercy, compassion. So I believe now that I had to experience all of that judgment, which was crippling myself and punishing myself and other people, and even self-hatred. I had to experience all that because I'm really here to serve the energy of mercy and compassion. And who better to serve mercy and compassion than somebody that's experienced judgment? Right? Who else can live and really serve the energy of joy except somebody that's been in pain and knows the opposite? It's there to teach us. Everything is working for our greatest good in this life, if we believe that. You know, I don't know if it was Einstein or somebody who says, one decision you have to make is whether you believe you live in a friendly world or a hostile world. You get to choose. I believe we live in a friendly universe that's everything is designed to support us and to lead us to our greatest potential, our greatest power, our greatest prosperity, our greatest success. And because I believe that, I think like that, I feel like that, I have behaviors like that, and we get results. And that's it. Those 5 drivers is what's creating your life: beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. And this is science too. It's not just Dr. Z pulls something out of his hat. No, we're talking about science too. So what do you want, right? What do you want to create in your life? That's the question. What's the problem? What's got you stuck?
Oh.
You really want to get out of it? Then find someone to support you and hold you accountable to what you say you want in your life. You'll have a better chance of it happening than not.
Oh, yes, indeed. Definitely true. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So we all need each other. Indeed, indeed. Heck, even a fun question for you. So you got this wonderful book. It's in its 3rd edition. The wonderful
Yay.
25 Days to Living Your Happiness. So my goodness. So if that book were a food, what would it be and why?
Ooh, if it was a food, what would it be and why? Man, that's a good question, Dom. Let's see. You're tugging on my right brain now. Right side of my brain. You try to get creative about this. I'm trying to think of a food that is very, it's a happy food. It's a food that leaves you full, but not overstuffed. It's not a heavy food. It's a light food. It's a joyful food. What kind of food meets all of that for me? I don't know. I like crab legs.
There you go.
I like snow crab legs. And it's light, they're sweet, it's light. Put some butter with it, Old Bay in there, a little Old Bay, not just Old Bay, but a little Old Bay in there. And it's always fun. Whenever we have them, it's always a good time. It's always a happy time and a feeling of satisfaction for me. So that's what I would call it. Crab legs, snow crab legs. So we can't get blue crabs out here. I know Maryland's blue crab. And actually, there's a place that we used to go to. You ever heard of shoreline seafood?
Sounds familiar.
First of all, do you like crabs?
Oh yeah, crab cakes especially. I
Okay.
prefer the
You don't
crab
like, but
cakes.
you don't like to do all that picking and stuff, I guess.
Nah, I mean I could do it, but I'm not a fan of it.
Okay. Okay. Well, would you like to know this place where it is?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Shoreline Seafood. It's in Anne Arundel. It's off of Route 3,
Yeah, man.
past Crofton.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting question. You got me thinking now. Yeah, and maybe it's not just one food. It's
Oh, here we go. Gambrels of Maryland looks like.
there it is, gambrels. That's it. That's it right there.
Oh, there we go.
Best crabs I found.
Oh, I remember driving past this place one time. Okay, I'll have to actually go inside now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you how good it was. We lived in Springfield, Virginia,
Oh,
across the bridge.
oh,
And when I wanted to get crab, I would go to Gambrel's Shoreline Seafood. It'd take me about an hour to get there. I'd go past the wharf in DC and all that. Nope, that's the spot right there. Anyway, how do we get on crab? I don't know. Don, where are you taking me, man? Well, one thing for sure, we having fun. That's for sure.
That's
Yeah.
right, indeed. That's true. That's the disclaimer I don't put in the wonderful prep notes. It's like, yeah, you may leave hungry during or after the
No, this is wonderful. Hey, well, like you say, man, we're going north, brother. We're going north. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes, sir, indeed. Well, coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but you're still in the current year, what advice would you give to yourself?
Play big, man. You've been given so much power inside of you. Release your fears and doubts and believe in yourself and have confidence because you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve with the right game plan, playbook, and support. Yeah. Give up the self-doubt for faith and action. Yes. Trust yourself, trust the process. You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's right, indeed. Play big and trust yourself. That's right, and trust the process as well. That's right, indeed. Conveyor belts didn't take. It took more than a day for a conveyor belt to, become alive. And now it's like, hey, now we're doing it. That's right, indeed. Now we got AI. We got Allen Iverson taking over the world. I'm
Yes. Hey, and we talking about practice, right? Not the game. We talking about practice. Oh, that's so beautiful, man. Yes,
Oh
sir.
man. Funny enough,
Thank
we
you.
are talking about practice. We're talking about good practice because oh man does a lot of wonderful things now about a lot of wonderful folks. So for those who need to keep up with what the good doc is doing, what's the best way for folks to do so, my man?
Well, I'm working on my website, universalselfleadership.com. But the best way I'd like to offer, since the website's not up yet, I do have a website up and I have a gift for you if you're open for it.
Woohoo! That's right, indeed.
And that is a free copy of this book, 25 Days to Living Your Happiness. That's going to take you out of your fear-based energies and put you in love energies that are powerful. Out of fear into love. You practice it every day. The tools, the exercises in here, and your life will change. I want to give it to you free. You do have to pay for shipping, right? So I'm asking for $10.97 so I can put it in an envelope and mail it to you. But the book is free. Plus, we're giving $300 worth of bonuses along with the book. So if you go to 25 Days to Happiness book.com, 25 Days to Happiness book.com, then we'll send you the Send you the book and the bonuses.
Oh, that's one heck of a gift right there, indeed. That's right, indeed, especially since graduation season's coming up at the time when this comes out. So it's like, hey, gift this to your grad, y'all. That's right, indeed. Set them up,
Mm,
make sure they know their true purpose, indeed. So that way, where it's like, hey, they got their degree and they're like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this darn thing? It's like, is this a receipt? Well, hey, send them this wonderful gift, indeed. That's right, indeed. Get them on their purpose. That's right, indeed. Dr. Z will
yes.
have them with a six-pack metaphorically of purpose ready. That's right, indeed.
Mm,
Oh, wow, look at all these client reviews, too. It's freaking great.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're so grateful, man. Make a contribution. Like Martin Luther King say, if I can just help somebody, then my life would not be in vain.
Amen to that. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. We heard that right, folks, indeed. That great legendary quote, indeed. That's right, indeed. From the great servant on earth right now, indeed. That's right, indeed.
Yes.
The good Dr. Z. So follow what my man's doing. Go ahead and check and click that link in the wonderful show notes, indeed. So that way, folks can go on ahead and get a next level happiness. That's right, indeed. That's
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Indeed.
And the other thing, Dom, they can check me out on Facebook. Zayd Abdul-Karim, ZAYD ABDULKARIM, and they can learn from me and follow me there as well. Thank you.
Woohoo! My pleasure indeed. Sweet. So you heard him. That's right indeed. Follow him. That's right indeed. So definitely shoot. Drop him a line too. Be like, hey, enjoy what you heard. That's right indeed. Got him in that smooth jazz mood. That's right indeed. We're nice and chill, but they're on fire at the same time. That's right
Mm,
indeed. They're like hot ice in a way.
nice. That's right. That's right. That's right. Keep everything cold, right? Yes, you're a
That's
wonderful
right.
guy. You're a wonderful soul, Dom. I'm so appreciative.
Hey, I appreciate you too. This is awesome indeed. Kim is definitely a 5-star human being for this connection indeed.
Yes, yes. Well, let's keep it going, brother. We got the whole country covered between Baltimore and San Francisco. We can do it.
There we go. I was gonna need Kim to crochet a blanket that size now. Let me stop.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good picture, right?
She'll
That's
be like,
funny.
dang it, I'll have gray hair by then. No.
That's funny. That's funny. Yes, sir.
Well, any parting words before we close up shop?
Yeah, I just want people to know you are the crown of creation. You're the best of what's been created. And you have a human excellence that's in you. And your soul wants to bring it out. And you are good enough. I just want you to know you are good enough. You are worthy of more, all the success that you can handle. And you deserve it. And you can do it. Whatever it is you desire, you can do it.
Thanks a bunch for investing your time by listening to this wonderful podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you really did, do me a solid and leave a review or share this episode with at least 3 people that you think would get some value out of today's content. Advance others to advance yourself.